keep it going because he's not coming up here. Mike! Driving up here, Mike. Keep it going. Here he is.
Thank you, man. Great stuff. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. How many comics in the room? How many comedians are coming up? Okay, a couple. It was like some people. So be brave, you comics. Comedy is definitely tough. Stand-up, comedy, open mics. It's different. Being on stage for something else, if you're playing a song or guitar, you kind of just tuck away. But you can't do that at comedy. You know, going up, I've done acting and stuff like that, same kind of thing. You know, you go up on stage as Hamlet, and people, worst case scenario, like, you suck at being Hamlet. You can kind of deal with that. You go up as a comedian, it's like, you suck at being you. That's a little rougher, a little bit rougher. But, any military, any prior service military in the audience tonight? No? I got 20 years, I just passed 20 years this past February in the military. Thank you. And it's been great, you know, definitely an honor to serve. But for you young guys in the audience, I want to let you know, don't believe the hype. After 20 years in the military, I can tell you this, you always hear women love a man in uniform. Burger King has uniforms. Women love a man with money. You make a uniform out of money, make penis, maybe that could help too. But military is a crazy place. It's a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy it. I serve with some phenomenal people. But we do a lot of training. We're always training. And some of the training we were doing the other day, we were doing suicide prevention training. You know, and it's very unfortunate, but you do a lot of this ancillary training. You're constantly going, and it's just really boring. And I couldn't help, I was sitting there in the classroom going through this stuff, and I couldn't help but think, I wonder if somewhere in some other part of the world, a bunch of guys are huddled around in a cave doing suicide encouragement training. You could fit another stick of dynamite in that vest. Come here. Take it seriously. Go to Cave 579, all right? Those jokers. But military's funny. I know the other day also I was actually, saw this Special Forces commando jumping out of the back of a C-130 aircraft, and they had the back door open, and he had a military working dog strapped to his chest. And my reaction, maybe kind of like you guys, I was like, that is really freaking cool. And then I thought, not for the dog. You know? We know that there's going to be a happy ending. There's a parachute, we're going to land safely. Dog doesn't know any of that shit. And if you didn't, you know, dogs don't wear diapers or pants or anything, so that poor thing was peeing and pooping the whole way down. And you figure things out and you do it a little better the next time around, you know? Hey Miller, why don't you go out first with the dog and we'll follow. You know? Dog hits the ground, it's like, what the heck happened up there? I thought we were friends. Any animal lovers? Animal lovers in the audience?
Yeah.
It's really sick. I personally only make love to humans, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge. My kids love animals. I had animals all growing up, but I have a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. I'm a single dad, and crazy about my kids. Best thing about my life is my kids. But my daughter is a trip. She will not let up on getting a dog. And my lifestyle doesn't really lend to it. I work a lot, and I just don't have a lot of time, and I just can't have a dog, not right now. And plus, I have my kids half the time, they're with their mom half the time, so it's just not all that practical. But she will not let up, so I thought, I got to try to do something. So I thought, maybe I'll just go to a shelter and just get the oldest, shittiest dog I can find, and just appease this moment. And then, you know, maybe after a few weeks, the dog kind of kicks the bucket, and then I can be like, Shannon, I'm sorry, you know, we cry, and, you know, and then I can just revisit the conversation. Remember we tried that whole dog and he cried so much? I don't want to cry again, do you? Well, that might not work. You need a backup plan. So I thought as a backup plan, I could just think, all right, I'm going to make a deal. Daddy is going to get you a goldfish, okay? If you can keep that goldfish alive for 1 year, I'll get you any kind of pet you want. Bunny rabbit, platypus, giraffe, whatever. That seemed like a good idea when I thought of it, except that it's coming up on a year in October. And that thing's still alive, and I'm thinking, day 364, I might have to just go in there and just get some expired food. And, I'm not getting a platypus. But my buddy mine, he gave me a call, he goes, hey dude, you know, I'm thinking, my son, he's 5, he wants to get a parrot, and I feel really bad, he's been talking about it nonstop, he really, really wants to get a parrot, and I really want to make him happy, and I thought, dude, are you out of your mind? The kid's 5. Go on Google and see how long parrots, they live to be like freaking 70 years old. You're going to be cleaning up bird shit long after that kid is out of the house. I said, get him a parrot from Toys R Us that eats batteries and shits nothing. That's it. But people, you know, they're crazy. They try to do everything for the kids. Another thing is funny, you know, you always see these like dog services. I saw this thing the other day. I was pulling out by CCM with my buddy Josh over there. And there was this doggy duty truck. And I just kind of looked and I thought, really, are we that lazy now? It was like, they poop, we scoop. And I thought, how does that even work? You know, do you just like call up and say, yeah, we have a mastiff, he shit right on the living room floor. How soon can you get here? I don't understand that. People are lazy. I tell you, the kids are funny. My kids do a lot of stuff. The other day I was sitting there, I was driving in the car, and all of a sudden my 6-year-old pipes up from the back seat and she says, Daddy, Brendan just said the S word to me. So I go, all right, Shannon, special permission this once. What's the S word Brendan said to you? He said stupid. I'm like, all right, well, not what I was thinking of. But and Brendan goes, well, that's because she said the SH word to me. So I'm thinking, jackpot. I go, all right, Brendan, special permission this once. What's the SH word Shannon said to you? He goes, shut up. I'm like, you fucking guys. Any Spanish speakers in the audience? Spanish speakers? No?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Poquito? I always love, I wish I had an accent. Accents are cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I always think it's funny when some of my friends that speak Spanish, they're always kind of like, faking like they can't make the J sound. And I'm just totally not buying that. Javier and Jesus. And it doesn't work with other words, It's not like peanut butter and heli. Hoosey hoos. Humping Hohosafats. And I know damn well they really can make the J sound, and that's the real trick of it. They just put it where they want to put it. New York Yankees. Okay? So I'm not to you. But somebody was telling me that it was like, I went to Spain, and they kind of have a little bit of a different accent. They do that kind of plaza instead of plaza de España or whatever. And he said that's because at some point in time it was fashionable to speak like the king. The king had a lisp. And then now just all of Spain speaks with this like hundreds of years later. And I thought, that's so insane. I couldn't imagine that would happen in the United States, that just like an American president has like a stutter. And people are just like, hey man, how you doing? How's it going? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I had a pretty funny situation. This is going back a little bit, but well, one thing I was thinking, this is actually totally not at all a funny situation, so scratch everything I just said. It's called open mic night, everybody. But, when I think about people, I just had somebody tell me the other day, they were like, hey, I just had to put a dog to sleep, and, it's so hard, or a dog Fluffy, and that's tough, I've done that before myself, but everybody always has the same kind of story, don't they? They'll sit there and they'll go, it was so sad, we took her for her last walk in the park, and, she was wagging her tail, and she was so happy, but she had a good 12 and a half years. We just had to put it. They just kind of like justify it on themselves. You don't do that with anything else. You don't do it with humans, Grandpa had a good 85 and a half years, but we just had to take him and put him down, We took him for a last walk in the park. He played another game of checkers, and he was telling jokes. He wanted to play one last game of checkers, but we just had to put him down. And then we're thinking like, okay, well, who gets Grandpa's parrot? I saw a little while back. Well, my ex-wife, just to tell you a little bit about marriage, for you young folks that aren't married yet, and for you folks that are already married, remarried 4 or 5 times, hats off to you. It's not an easy thing. But I met my ex on Match.com, and so just beware, Match.com. But it was I got 2 great kids out of the deal, so I'm not complaining. But it's funny, as I remember and I think back about things like, people say, what happened? I said, well, she was looking for green grass on the other side, and she got it. She actually got knocked up by a landscaper, which is... We had an argument one time, and she said to me, sometimes I feel like you treat me like you're the boss and I'm the employee. And I said, I'm going to stop you right there. That is not true, because I would have fired your ass a long time ago. Thanks very much, everybody.
All right, keep it going for him. Mike. Do you teach at CCM?
Staff, so I do media producer. Television shows, direct TV shows.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm in the play.
Oh, okay. I'll be taping your play.
Please, you can see it in November. All right, we're going to keep this show rolling. This next guy is back for his 2nd time. Here he is, Brandon Naranjo.
Yeah.